In this encounter, the PCs fight against the gangsters sent by the Struce clan. The PCs are trying to drive them out of the ship and keep their friends safe. There are as many Struce clan gangsters in this encounter as there are PCs, and we'll go ahead and add those right at the airlock. I'm not sure if that's the right token. It's actually interesting because they don't actually provide any specific information on which tokens are what. So they kind of leave that up to you, but it seems like they should at least provide a list of what they expect them to be. The gangsters start at the door and are at short range from any PCs who stayed near it, hiding in the corner, standing in the center of the hall, or taking cover behind a barricade. If a PC moved further down the passageway, hiding among the nomads taking cover, that PC is at medium range from the gangsters and at short range from the other PCs. The hero players should indicate their PC's location based on their actions in Encounter 1. It is time to begin combat. So one of the things that I did actually is I was exploring the idea of having a combat sort of mini-map kind of thing. So let's go ahead and get these guys in here. So Marley is actually not really in the combat. And let's see, and short, Tyrus, and because he only had one action, it wasn't clear where he was going to end up, but Bormo is going to go ahead and be there. So we're going to go ahead and put these guys in short, and we'll have Tyrus in medium, and then Marley is going to be outside, maybe in long. And so we'll go ahead and so we'll do something like that. Okay. Time to begin combat. Combat follows the steps listed below. Determine initiative, in this case, based on whether or not the heroes successfully prepared. Participants take turns. Each character takes one turn. PCs choose the order in which they act. The round ends. A new round begins. Return to step 2 until the encounter is over. Determine initiative. As at the beginning of the first round of combat, the GM and the hero players need to determine in what order the characters, both PC and NPCs, will take their turns. This is called the initiative order. In most cases, determining initiative calls for a skill check from each participant, vigilance or cool, I think, or something. But in this case, the initiative for each participant. No, wait. But in this case, the initiative order is fixed based on whether the heroes successfully prepared for the gangsters or not. Note that each initiative slot is claimed by a team, PC or NPCs, not by an individual character. The hero players choose the order in which their characters use their team's slots. It's a really interesting way to do initiative, where you make opportunities and then you fill them based on where you want. Now that's really interesting in comparison to like initiative order around the table in Index Card RPG, where you place your character around the table based on when you want them to take action. So it's kind of like that, except it's more flexible. It can change. But I suppose in Index Card RPG you could just get up and change chairs, depending on what you were doing. Note that each initiative slot is... the DM does the same if the NPCs occupy multiple slots, although in this encounters, all NPCs act simultaneously. If the heroes prepared successfully, first, second, third slots are for PCs, followed by the NPCs, and then a fifth slot for another PC. There are only 3 or whatever. Okay. The Struce clan gangsters, mercenaries actually, they're not the Struce clan. They're hired guns. See, it's weird. This book can't quite figure out what it's doing. So they've got 3 brawn, 3 agility, and 3 cunning. Soak value of 4 and wounds threshold of 5. So we've got 20 wounds as a group. Ranged skill, salvaged blaster pistol. Is their weapon. Heavy face wraps. So I guess that is the right thing. Each round of participants take turns. Each round of combat consists of a series of turns in initiative order. Each character participating in the battle takes 1 turn. Beginning with the first slot in the initiative order, one member of that team, PC or NPC, takes the character's entire turn. Then the round progresses to the next slot in the initiative order. Each PC can use any remaining PC initiative slot, but each PC can only take 1 turn per round. PCs can choose who acts as each initiative slot is reached in the initiative order. They don't have to choose beforehand. They can also act in one order during one round and in a different order during the next round. There is no permanent connection between a given PC and a given initiative slot. In the case of the NPCs, it is normal for groups of similar NPCs, such as the gangsters, to act at the same time. Just as NPCs can act in any order and can change their order from round to round. Except they're going to all act together. Whatever. Once each character has taken a turn, the round ends and a new round begins. On each character's turn, that character can perform a single action and a single maneuver in any order. Actions are not maneuvers. Maneuvers are not actions. Possible actions include performing an attack with an available weapon, using a skill, performing a second maneuver. Possible maneuvers include moving to a new location within short range, or moving between range bands from engaged range to short range to medium range, etc. Readying or stowing a weapon or other item, such as a stim pack or quadnoculars. Using a stim pack. Opening or closing a door, flipping a table for cover, or otherwise interacting with the environment. Aiming to gain a boost die on your next attack. Taking cover to give attackers a setback die on attacks against you until you leave cover or the situation changes such that you are no longer protected by cover. Assist another character to add a boost to that character's next action. Only 1 maneuver. Characters can perform second maneuver on their turn by suffering 2 strain or by downgrading their action to a maneuver. Their action slot, not the action. Yeah. Characters can never perform more than 2 maneuvers during their turn, nor can they perform more than 1 action. Example, on his turn, Tyrus runs around the corner, a maneuver, and finds himself face to face with an enemy. He wants to shoot his opponent, but first he must draw his blaster pistol, a maneuver. He does so by suffering 2 strain to perform an extra maneuver, then shoots his foe an action. Example 2. On her turn, Marley aims, a maneuver, and takes a shot with her blaster pistol, an action. Her shot misses, but the check results in 2 advantage. Since she has only taken 1 maneuver so far this turn, Marley elects to spend those 2 advantages on a second maneuver, as discussed in the advantage sidebar on page 13, to duck into cover behind a stack of shipping crates. The round ends, a new round begins. After all the characters have taken a turn, the round is over, and if the battle is now done, one team has been defeated or fled, then the encounter is over, and it is no longer necessary to track initiative. If there is more fighting to do, a new round begins and the process returns to the participant turn step. During this new round of combat, the order of initiative slots remains the same, but the characters may act in a different order. They are not obligated to use the same initiative slot they did in the first round. Boost dice and setback dice. These dice are independent of the difficulty of the check and represent external factors. Boost dice make the attack more likely to hit. Setback dice make the attack less likely to hit. Boost die can be gained by performing the aim maneuver. Setback dice are added when attacking a target who has taken cover to avoid shots. Movement and range. In the Force Awakens beginner game, range and distance are handled abstractly, with a system of range bands that describe the distances between objects. There are 5 range bands: engaged, short, medium, long, and extreme, in order from closest to farthest. Engaged range, characters are close enough to touch. Engaged range is a subcategory of short range. Short range, a few steps away. An easy shot with a blaster. It takes a single maneuver to move from short range to engaged, or from short range to medium range. In this encounter, short range is about half the distance down the corridor. This abstract distance is a lot like managing the concepts instead of managing the terrain in Index Card RPG. So there's a lot of interesting compatibility there. Medium range, opposite sides of a room, an average shot with a blaster. Still close enough to easily be seen and heard, although characters must speak loudly to be understood. It takes a single maneuver to move from medium to short. It takes 2 maneuvers to move from medium to long range. In this encounter, medium range spans from the airlock to the far end of the corridor. There are 2 other range bands, long range and extreme range, which aren't important here because the corridor is relatively small. You can use character tokens to approximate where each character is on the map and to estimate ranges between characters. Since the range band system is abstract, rough estimates are normally all the detail that you need. Critical injury. If an NPC suffers a critical injury, that NPC is simply defeated. If a PC suffers a critical injury, refer to the critical injury table on the back cover. Performing an attack. When fighting in a battle, one of the most basic and important actions a character can perform is to make an attack with an available weapon against a target in range. First, the attacker should compare the range to the target against the listed range for the weapon. If the target is too far away, the attacker must move closer, choose a different target for the attack, or do something else with that action. Attacks are skill checks. The skill used is determined by the weapon and is listed in its description. The active character should gather the dice for the dice pool as indicated for the relevant skill. The difficulty of an attack check, the number of purple difficulty dice added to the check, is determined by the circumstances of the attack. If the attack is at short range, it is an easy check. Add 1 difficulty die. If medium range, average check. Add 2. If the attack is long range, it won't be as long as everyone stays inside the corridor. It is a hard check. Add 3. If the attacker is engaged with the target, it is average check. If it's made with the melee, brawl, light, or ranged light skill, add 2 difficulty dice to the pool. If the attack is made with the ranged heavy skill, it is a hard check. Add 3 difficulty to the dice pool. Okay, that's a little weird. That's not as clear as it should be. A character who uses the aim maneuver also adds boost die to the attack's dice pool. Characters who are in cover add a setback die to attacks that target them. Once the dice pool is assembled, it is rolled and evaluated like any other skill check. Dealing damage and suffering wounds. If the attack is a success, it hits and the hit inflicts damage on the target. The damage inflicted by the attack is equal to the damage rating of the weapon plus the number of success symbols left uncancelled. For example, if Marley fires a blast or pistol with damage 6 and hits her target with 1 uncancelled success symbol, she deals 7 damage. The target reduces the damage suffered by the target's soak rating, a combination of the character's natural toughness and the armor worn. If a character's soak rating reduces the damage to 0 or less, that character suffers no wounds. Otherwise, the character suffers wounds equal to any remaining damage. For instance, if Marley shoots a gangster for 7 damage, the gangster reduces that damage by his soak value of 4 and suffers 3 wounds. When a character suffers wounds, that character's controller marks them on the character sheet. The GM can use scratch paper for NPCs. When a character's total number of wounds suffered exceeds the character's wound threshold, the character is defeated and knocked unconscious. The character suffers an immediate critical injury. That character suffers an immediate critical injury. So you get a critical injury if you are defeated, and remains unconscious until healed by another character. NPCs who are defeated normally die outright or are incapacitated such that they pose no further threat to the PCs for the purpose of the game, unless the plot calls for them to survive. Advantage. You can spend advantage. Characters may spend advantage to do several things. In general, the player controlling the active player chooses how to spend advantage symbols with the GM's approval. Options include spend 1 to recover 1 strain, spend 2 to immediately perform a bonus maneuver without suffering strain, spend 2 advantage to add a boost die to the next attack, spend advantage to inflict 1 critical injury on the target if the attack is successful. Each weapon requires an amount of advantage noted in the weapon's description. Spend advantage to do something else appropriate to the plot and situation. Threat. Threat may be spent to do several things. In general, the GM chooses how to spend threat symbols. Options include spend 1 threat to cause a PC to suffer strain, spend 2 threat to allow the target of the attack to immediately perform a maneuver, spend 2 threat to add a setback dice to the next attack the active character performs, spend 2 threat die to add a boost die to the next attack targeting the active character. Spend threat to do something else appropriate to the plot and situation. Triumph. In a combat situation, a triumph symbol counts as a success symbol and thus makes an attack more likely to hit and to deal damage. Further, a triumph symbol can be used to inflict 1 critical injury on the target if the attack is successful, or to trigger any effect that advantage symbols could trigger. The battle continues until one team or another is victorious. Okay. Okay. Wow. So let's see. Let's put Marley in the back. She's going to be that last one. So we've got these 3 guys are going to go first, and then So Firabon is sort of straddling the middle of that hallway, and she's going to go ahead and use a maneuver to get her. Wow. Okay, hold on. We've got that frag, and what I was looking at is that frag grenade. They've got a soak value of 4 and a wound threshold of 5. So we've got 4. So we've got 20. The group has 20 wounds amongst them as a group. I think she's going to throw that damn frag grenade. And so the dice pool, she's got 3 dice, and then she had a whole bunch of advantages. I'm going to use, she had those 2 advantages. I'm going to go ahead and use that to put in a boost. And then the range band is a difficulty of 1. So let's go ahead and do that. 3 ability, 1 boost, and 1 difficulty. With a frag grenade. Oh, okay, so she has 1 uncancelled advantage. So it goes off, and then I'm gonna say that the mercenaries have a setback dice on their next attack. And let's see, who's next? Colonist. Stun grenade. Or shock stave. Yeah, well, let's go with the stun grenade. So Bormo is going to use a stun grenade. That's 2 and 1 difficulty. That's not ideal, but we'll go ahead and do that. 2 advantage and 1 threat, so 1 advantage. So we're going to go ahead and spend that, and we'll make them have 1 setback die. It actually says I need 2. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give it anyway. So that's another setback die. That's 2 setback dice for them. And Tyrus is at medium. Heavy blaster at medium range. So he's going to go ahead and shoot in. He's got, and then 2 difficulty. Okay, so we've got 2 ability, 1 proficiency, and 2 difficulty. Oi, oi, oi. Oh, wait, actually that's good. Okay, so those cancel. So 2 and an advantage. Seven, so 8, 9. So that's 9. And so Sork takes that down to 5. So one of these guys, yeah, so let's just, so one of these guys is already toast. So we'll go ahead, we just deleted this guy right here. This guy. Oops. So that guy's gone. Okay, and then they go. And there's 3 of them. And they've got range. To medium. Okay, so the first one is going to go. Let's go ahead and. So one of them is going to attack Tyrus. So this is going to be. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy is with Tyrus. This one is going to go for Thera, and then this one is going to go after Bormo. And so they've got 3 ability dice, 2 setback dice, and then a difficulty of You know, what it occurs to me is that, I mean, Tyrus is in the medium, and then this guy is in medium, and that actually makes for long. So that's actually 1 extra difficulty dice. So here's what I was saying, is that this guy is in the medium band and Tyrus is in medium. So that actually brings, that means they're actually long from each other, if that makes sense. So my little range band thing is less than ideal, but that adds, I'm adding an extra disadvantage to that. I mean, extra difficulty. Okay, threat. A lot of successes, though. Whole crud. Okay, so that one will cancel that advantage. So that's 4 and 3 threat. Spending threat. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a successful hit, but with the disadvantages, in order to reach him, shoot at him from that distance, he's completely opened himself to attack. So he's going to give boost die to the next attack against him. But that also means that he is going to attack with 5, 9. For a full 9. Soak value of 4 is 5, and so wounds are, so Tyrus has gone from 12 down to 7. Okay. So Tyrus is at 7. That hurt. Bastard. And so the next one is going to be 2 difficulty, 2 setback, and 3 ability against Fira. Ooh, fail. So only 1 success. So that means a damage of 6 against Fira. Soak of 5 means 1. So she's... So she's at 12. And the next character up is going to be... we're going to attack Bormo. So that's 3, difficulty of 2, and 2 setback die. So that goes, and that goes, and so there's actually absolutely completely canceled. Canceled out. So that was Stormtroopered it. Totally Stormtroopered it. Okay, excellent. Now we have one last character who's going from... What has she got? I think she's going to set up an ambush, though, right? Blaster pistol at medium. So she's going to use her 2 maneuvers to go from long to medium, and she's actually going to come up behind these guys and surprise them. So that's her. She's getting ready for the next one. Okay, let's see. So The next thing we do is we go back to the top of the roster, and so let's go ahead with Fira. Fira is going to now use... Oh, she's got a long shot blaster with extreme range. Nice. Damage of 8. Holy crap. So she's got 2 proficiency, 1 ability against 2 difficulty. Because she's going to go for one of the farther away ones. Oh, hold on. Ooh, and a triumph. And everything else... Wow, so the threat and the advantage cancel out. And that leaves me with a success that's a triumph. That's pretty cool. Is a critical injury. So that's basically this guy got blown sky high. So this one is dead. That was a critical injury to that one. And so the next character up is going to and I guess she's going to use her maneuver to aim for the next turn. Bormo is going to move to Tyrus. And then use a stim pack to heal for 4, which is going to go up to 11. And then Tyrus is going to heavy blaster pistol against the one in short. So that's a proficiency and 2 ability plus 2 difficulty because of the extra range. Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay, so that cancels that out, and then so we've got success and an advantage. We'll go ahead and remove a strain, I guess, but the advantage is going to be damage 7 is 8. And they were soak. What is it? Soak 4. So that one's down to 1. So let's go ahead. We'll, oh wow, it's got cracks. That's new. Anyhow, so that's 1 hit point left on that guy. Let's see, and that was everybody, I think. So it's their turn. Let's see. So this one is going to go shoot at Tyrus. So that's 3 and 3 difficulty. Right? Okay, 1 failure. And those advantages are out, so that's 2 successes. And so that's a damage of 5, 6, 7 against Tyrus. Tyrus has a soak of 4, so that's 3. So he's going to go back down to... so he's going to go to 8. And then the next is 3 ability and 2 difficulty against Sphera. That's a bunch of fails. Did that cancel everything? That canceled everything. Okay, so that's a wash. So that's a complete wash. So he stormtroopered it. Okay, and then it's Marley. Marley, blaster pistol to medium. So yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna do Marley is proficiency and 3 ability dice. And I'm gonna give her 3 difficulty because of the added range. Oh, well, let's go. Let's actually, no, we're going to do it 2 because she's going to go against the guy in the back. So she's actually close to that guy. And because of surprise, I'm going to go ahead and give her a boost. Okay, wow, what the heck. Oof. 3 fails. So 3 fails, but 3 advantage. So but she doesn't hit. I mean, that would be enough for a critical hit, except that there's no actual success there. There's 1 fail. So yeah, so she with the advantages, I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to add setback dice to that guy. Yeah, we're going to setback dice to that guy. So that blast like surprised the crap out of him, and then so he's freaked out. Okay, let's go ahead with Fira again. Fira's going to go ahead and shoot that guy. Actually, she's going to go with the main guy. She's going to shoot that guy. Difficulty. Three? No, 2. No. I guess now I'm trying to figure out. I should actually move. I should do it this way. This is how this should actually work out. Because she's in the front rank. That's actually how it should work out. And then this is short range. Okay, so let's see. 2 difficulty. 2 proficiency and 1 ability. So here's my dice pool. Yeah. Ooh, a triumph. So that's going to be a critical if it's a success. Is that a success? It is, in fact, a success with an advantage. So that's a critical hit. So this guy's toast. So we just blew the crap out of this guy. Pew! And then that guy only has 1 hit die left. So, 1 wound left. So he's not doing so great. Let's see. Bormo. I guess Bormo is going to take his extra moves and actually to go in to engage. So that was 2 moves. He's going to take an extra strain. Yeah, let's take 2 strain to do that, and then get in action. So we're gonna go ahead and do the dice pool. So we're gonna build the dice pool is 2 ability, 1 proficiency, and no... Why is short range easier than meleeing? Okay, so we'll add 2 difficulty die for being engaged. And we'll see how that goes. Oi, oi, oi. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a lot. Look at that. That's four successes and an advantage. Plus 7. And their soak is only 4. So yeah, he's dead. He's totally dead. The shock stave zaps the crap out of this guy. He's like, and he's dead. Okay. Whoa, that was fun. That was our first combat. Let's go ahead and switch back over to explore. And so all 4 of these guys are toast. And Marley was actually back. Came in the back. And Bormo leapt up. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, so let's see. As you cut down the Struce clan's gangsters, the last lowlife bolts through the entrance. Clutching her wounds, she pauses once she is outside the wreck and safely out of your reach. You're going to regret this, What? No. Sorry. You lean against the walls, feeling weary but supremely pleased with yourselves for protecting a ship full of nomads. Misha Vantoba manages to calm the nomads and walks over to you. Thank you, she says, clasping your hands in sincere gratitude. I think we all owe you our lives. She moves to the entrance and peeks carefully outside, holding her hand to shade eyes against the desert sunlight. Looks like those Struce scum are gone all right. But they'll be back for certain. We need to meet and discuss what we're going to do next. So it's not the last one clutches out. It's... they just know the Struce clan is going to send a second party to figure out what happened to the first one. But that was them, and they're all blasted to crap. So yeah, so that's the end of Encounter 2.